Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend, which exists in a time pocket where today is yesterday. So this video's on time, and also I've never been late for anything in my life. Can't argue with that, it's science. So today we're planning to finish up our war with Purple. My suspicion is they are going to be hard-pressed to put together a defensive force in the time that it takes us to claim their last four regions. Criminy, they expanded quickly. So somewhere around turn 80 probably, we're going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13, I don't know, like 14 regions, hopefully. We're going to have to do some work with these Urkins and stuff, but we're going to have quite a large empire, and from there, we'll have a lot of options. I don't actually know what my plan is as far as winning the game goes, but we will have a large enough science and manufacturing base that we could push in a lot of directions from there. I'm not going to try to plan too far ahead from that. Let's just go ahead and keep moving here. So, as is often the case, I do want to get some movement queued in here. Why? These are annoying. Do we have action points? We don't, right? I just fought. Yeah. These things are projecting a zone of control, which is making it awkward to move around them. And I don't really want to... Yeah, alright, we'll just eat them at the beginning of the turn, it's fine. Which means that really it's not worth giving any of these armies movement orders. Yeah, whatever, it's fine, we'll just hit end turn here. So a lot of important buildings are going to complete all at once, a couple of military units, and... Now keep in mind, part of the reason that we're doing so well on Dust is because Purple had very developed Dust technology. Right, they probably already had refineries at the very least. Ululani Raui is leveling up, and of course we're gonna head toward winter immunity, because boy, winter immunity is valuable. And it gets more valuable as the game goes on, of course. No, stop moving around. I'm trying to eat you. Feast. I have engaged the feast button. You two, please step out of the army. There we go, so that we can merge up there. We probably won't actually attack this turn on account of I feasted already. You are also getting feasted. I don't know who you think you are. Do not include Chaka. We don't need any of that noise. Okay, hey, look at that. A stockpile. This long eclipse has just been an absolute nightmare for Purple. And I think we should talk a little bit here about what to do if you get necrophaged. Obviously, if you are necrophage, the plan is straightforward. Feast. If a necrophage player engages with you, it's important to fight offensively only when you can get crushing victories. Otherwise, you have to be more careful. If you get into a war and you just trade bodies with the necrophage, they're going to eat most of those bodies and raise the rest of them as soldiers, right? That's doubly true in an eclipse. If you get into an eclipse situation like this, you have to play defensively. You have to try to be smart. Do not run at them. Do not try to play the game of attrition. The necrophage always wins the game of attrition. Cannot stress this enough. I do feel like basically that we have just gotten very lucky. Look at that, 43 siege damage per turn between these two armies. Very nice. We have gotten pretty lucky here with the eclipse. Not just its length, but also its timing. You know, like it came up right as the real fighting started. All right, so we've got to deal with this. Somebody's got to kill this Urkin louse, and we just built a single necro drone, which honestly may not be up to the task. I'm a little concerned that if we send it over there, it's just going to get... Oh, no, never mind. This one does not have nearly the stats that we were seeing from the one that was hanging out with Chaka. Alright. You come up here, search this ruin. Remember, we can search over the cliff, because flying unit. Awesome. Great news. Wonderful. I guess we'll also search this ruin on the way past, because necro drones. Wonderful stuff. 10 adamantium. Alright. And you know what, we'll, hopefully grab that on the way over as well, provided that the eclipse lasts one more turn. Speaking of the eclipse lasting one more turn, after we do whatever combat we do here, we gotta make sure that we actually spend our, Oh, hey, Red. How's it going? We gotta make sure we actually spend our stockpiles. So there's a Yotus camp in this area. I guess we do that. I'm gonna go search this ruin. Red may attack us. If it happens, it happens. We'll be out of here before they have the chance to finish us off. Hooray, we did it. We earned the break wall. And I'm just gonna get a little bit of a move on here. And like I said, we can't stop them from attacking us, but maybe they'll be nice. Sometimes they're nice. See, they want us to join. They just want to spread their wonderful, horrifying religion to everyone. Alright, so, do we let Juliarn... Do we burn Juliarn down, or do we attack now? My biggest concern with attacking now is that this is exploitation. This is a district being built, which means that tile is city. Okay, so this tile's not in the combat region. We don't know for sure if this tile is city or not. Basically, we may end up with 88 fortification against 2 militia plus something here, plus potentially hero, plus whatever's in this garrison, which may include another hero. So I think we will, in fact, just let the fortification burn, and I think we're doing the same thing over here. They've gotten their cities set up for mutual defense, which makes it much, much more difficult to successfully attack them while they still have fortification up, which is a big part of the reason that I thought it was important to do that thing. Alright, Proliferator gets to join up. And I think we're going to refocus people on food now. We'll bounce over and rush the iceworks out when winter begins. But for the moment, we can take it easy. There's potentially quite a lot of time left, right? Alright, this city finally finished the other things we had it doing. And so now, we only have enough pearls for one more pearl building. Let's maybe not make it this one here. I mean, we need to build central markets pretty much everywhere. That said, these build so fast, it's probably worth getting them out first. Central market before right-of-way, though. And then Warden should definitely get their central market finished. Let's get that thing going here as well. Is this region a big concern? Oh, it does have Titan Bones. And Adamantian, although we don't necessarily need a ton more Adamantian. Oh, it has two sources of Titan Bones. Okay. Yes, we do need to get this. We could just run over here and fight Khazar. Oh, he's going to be gone in 6 turns, though. We're going to be busy for at least 6 turns, so I guess I'm not going to stress too much about it. And everybody else is doing things of import. Here we can probably refocus on food as well, and happiness climbs slowly. So it's worth noting that the unhappiness of a city only affects the food and industry output. In theory, it can be more efficient when a city is unhappy to jump over to dust or science if your empire approval value is higher, because empire approval value is what governs the global modifier on science and dust. That said, I think we're in a situation here where, 6 food per citizen with the, 8 with the 20% modifier is still more valuable than getting 4 science or 4 dust from either of them. So let's just grow the cities, continue to pump population. We have a very impressive population. And again, partially this is owed to the long eclipse. And I guess Kalal is not a terrible place to build the, to burn the stockpiles. We could do it in Jethat, I guess, too. Jethat's, I think, a little bit more valuable as an actual city. Yeah, Kalal is well placed for using the soldiers as reinforcements, but I don't know that that's relevant anymore. I think we might be done. I think we might be good on soldiers. And I would rather have the troops here for, the people here for converting them into actual building power. So, stock. And We probably should have these Battleborn running toward war. I don't know exactly where they need to go, but this is a good start. Okay. Let's just queue up some next turn movement. That conflict is probably under control. You lot can run down this way. And in fact, you all may as well join them. Okay. And you are just moving away from those guys. I'm not even going to bother grabbing the conflux. Frankly, we don't need it. So, break wall. Right, we picked up a new shield. The quest reward for searching that ruin quickly was this pretty fine shield. It is totally okay. May as well. And I suppose equipping some better armor on this unit while we're here is going to be pretty cheap and probably pretty worth it. 12 extra health plus 8% attack. Yeah, okay, let's just... Yeah. You don't have improved movement. Right, because I haven't really been bothering with improved movement on the heroes because the armies always contain Battleborn, and so the armies can't move quickly anyway. That's fine. Oh, is he... Oh, right. Yep. Let's go ahead and... We stepped outside of friendly territory. Well, we'll fix it. We'll fix his equipment later. It is not a crucial concern, I don't think. Alright, so let's get all of our people moving toward their reinforcement positions as quickly as possible. Oh, I should be hiring... Right. We're saving dust for to hire heroes. I should be hiring heroes with it. Alright, so they're in a position here where the city is going to go to negative fortification next turn. Once fortification is completely depleted, if fortification damage is still being done, it starts to damage the health of the units in the garrison, which is why they spawned up their buyouts and they're going to attack us, because their situation's about to get a hell of a lot more dire. Also, a dearth of dust. Dust overexploitation has unbalanced the cycle, which is a very vague concept, but whatever the point is for the next 9 turns, all my money, oh no. And, of course, it is worth noting that any other player in this situation running the number of troops we are running would be at a massive deficit. We must remember the amount of money that is being saved by cannon fodder. It is really quite significant. So we finished this, and now I think we should pick up the cargo dock. We have a couple of cities where the cargo dock will be really, really good. But I don't know if we need to pick it up now, or if it maybe makes more sense to go smelting station. Are we still leading on this? No, we have a level 6 hero, but there are 3 people who have a level 7, or 2 people rather, who have a level 7 hero, so we're pretty unlikely to get this then. Be the first to have 4,000 dust in the bank. The word produce here makes this basically just not say the right thing, but what it means is have 4,000 dust in the bank. Because you can see our current progression is 1,100, which is not what we are producing. So 80 Palladian would not go amiss, but I'm certainly not going to not spend our money in order to try to get there. So if we're not in a rush on the cargo dock, I mean, obviously we want reaping station eventually once we have access to the additional Titan bones. It's not critical that we get it now. I guess nothing's really critical now, though. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get the smelters up, and then we'll cargo dock later. And our science output is solid. Also, a quest. It seems that a group of freelance entrepreneurs, note pirates and brigands, wants to come clean. However, they need a justification to convince their followers that it makes sense to adopt a sedentary, low-risk lifestyle, and they're wondering if your empire might help. So get 2 more strategic extractors up, and they'll pay us off 25 adamantium. Well, alright, I'm working on it. We will get to that battle presently. What's our empire approval level now? Okay, edging higher. Keep in mind, it's going to keep bouncing around pretty unpredictably for a little while because we're continuing to take over. I will get to it. Stop being so pushy. Because, of course, we're going to be picking up new cities, and they're going to be bombing out our approval levels. So, I'm not terribly concerned about it right now. It has not yet stabilized. I definitely want you to walk over here and get me vision of this other city if you can. Nope, you cannot. There's not really an angle. So, attacking from this angle, we just barely don't include that city. Right, because this tile is still exploitation. It's not actual city yet. So yeah, I guess we just take them like this. Now that we know for sure, at least, that this is not going to include their garrison, this should be very doable. We're not going to manual that. Wow, the proliferator got 2 of the 3 of them, huh? Impressive. Then I guess you just follow over, or do I want to... I can't quite move to the ruin this turn anyway. Yeah, just follow. Oh, you should not... Well, whatever, it's fine. I guess let's not give them move orders at the beginning of next turn, because I need to fix this army so that it's not drawing all the extra upkeep. And let's make sure all of the other easy stuff is settled. Pretty straightforward. How's Chaka doing? Alright, Chaka's at like 40%. Getting there. I really don't want to bring Chaka to battle for the moment. Yeah, so okay, let's resolve this big central battle that is blocking everything else. They have come at us with these 2 riders, and they get to use Qua-Usk and Yurun-Qua as reinforcements. Setasa does not have much in the way of combat stats, so I'm not too worried about that. This Dust Bishop 5 is a fairly modern design, still fairly low attack, though. The Rider is a cavalry unit that it gets a bunch of bonus attack when it charges at people, and then you can see it has that Life Drain 3 capacity, which we'll see in a second here. Let me rearrange these a little bit to get the hero in there faster. But a lot of the Broken Lords units have this sort of like vampirism theme, right? This life drain occurs before the attack, so in a situation where the life drain is sufficient to kill, the killed unit does not get a counterattack, which can be a pretty big deal. So attacking in a situation like this for them is an interesting trade-off, right? They have been loath to do it so far because they don't get the benefit of their fortification on the attack. But them attacking means they get to pick which one of our armies starts on the table. And of course they chose an army that does not have a proliferator in it, which is probably smart for them. So I'm just trying to figure out how I want to position this. Obviously I want the Necrodrone to be able to threaten the backlines quickly, but I also don't want it in a position where these high initiative riders are going to be able to just stop it from moving. So I think this is the best we're going to be able to do. Depending on which... Yeah, this is fine. Alright, so the Dust Bishop, obviously, very high value target. With the Necrodrone having 118 defense, keep in mind that's artificially boosted up by the morale of starting next to so many friends. I'm wondering if it's safe to have it just charge at essentially full speed. I'm going to have it try to move to here. I want it to threaten the bishops, but I also don't want it to end up in a situation where it's likely to get just killed by the bishop. Because the bishop does get to go before it next turn. And actually I think a lot of this is fairly solid. Okay, an interesting flank. The riders are cavalry. So our little bits of infantry slayer, like on our hero, don't affect them, unfortunately. It looked like they have, yeah, they're equipped with spears, which is good news for us, because we don't have any cavalry. Yeah, so keep punching those guys. We've got Setasa in here. One thing that is worth noting about Setasa is, as a Morgauer hero, Setasa has the ability to turn any unit into any one of their own units into a living bomb. And when it dies, it will deal damage to all adjacent enemies equal to 30% of its max HP. Obviously, it would be great if that did not happen very many times. Also, Sitas is quite slow, so we can probably get an attack off, although it's not 100% certain because they could turn the riders around and use them to try to lock these units up. Yeah, you guys definitely do that. I don't think we want to try to block up the reinforcement spaces on this one. I think we're fine with their units just coming in just as fast as we can get them in here. No, you know what? Maybe this was right. Maybe you should try to hold that militia in place. All right. Ah, they're trying to stop up my reinforcement spaces though, which is not a bad plan. Unfortunately, I think they may be a little bit too late on that one. And we might already have enough units on the table to win the game. Alright, I'm hopeful that we can kill Satasa quickly, because I do really want to unblock this reinforcement space. Alright, so you all attack from there. Dust Bishop has a... Aha! The Dust Bishop has stepped too close to one of the high initiative Battleborn. Yeah, that seems like a reasonable target. Who's the other high initiative Battleborn? You? Okay, you step down here. Who is the most right target for the Proliferator? It probably is that guy. No, it's probably this guy, actually. Prefer to attack here. Obviously, the Proliferator is potentially just going to get attacked by both the riders. There's not a lot we can do about it. Okay, only one of them went for it. There's still quite a lot of damage, though. Alright, doing our level best to not let Satasa ever have a turn. Alright, both the riders are dead to disease. Unfortunately, they did prevent us from moving our reinforcement, moving our guys off of the reinforcement spaces, which is a real bummer. Let's have you move down this way at this point, I guess. No, that space doesn't have range to them. Shoot. Alright, yeah. This'll have to do. So both these guys are dead at the beginning of their turn. The Proliferator does not cause the parasite on counterattack, right? Yeah, these guys both have disease, no parasite. So that's a shame. And then a lot of you just need to sort of run forward. Let's see, so that settler just came in. That's some pretty weak reinforcements for the moment. Make sure that we are focusing on the Dust Bishop as much as possible. Alright, one parasite. Hooray! Okay, we'll get a little bit here. We'll get some small number of reinforcements. Alright, Necrodrone doing the kind of damage that you hire a Necrodrone to do. Yep, definitely focus there. We could probably have almost everybody focus on this. Nobody who can reach this enemy needs to attack the other one. I'm not even 100% sure why some of our Battleborn are so high initiative. Are these guys just much higher level? Alright, obviously, the battle is resolved. I will say that I think, for the most part, the AI played this battle quite well. It's just the numbers were not on their side. Alright, so 2 Battleborn down, 3 up, 14 cadavers. the never-ending eclipse is really, really doing a number on them. So... how do we want to move people around here? Let's bounce the most injured Battleborn over to that army, and then also we do have to put just any one more over there, and then we still have to separate out another one after that. You only have 1 point of movement, I think. Here, let's remove the most injured Battleborn from this army. Shunt like that. There we go. That gets us back to normal upkeep on all of these. And nobody's going to be able to make it to the other city, right? We all have... well, okay, you have 4 points of movement. The Necrodrone has full movement still. Okay. We just have to make sure that we can siege this city so that it doesn't have the ability to regenerate any of its stuff. I don't think it matters who makes the actual attack here. Let's just go ahead and take it. And then we bounce the Necrodrone out because it has enough movement to get over here and initiate siege to prevent this city from regenerating. They do have a reinforcement army coming up, and we can see Rider 4 and Stalwart 6. So they're continuing to change their unit designs, but the Stalwart 6, I believe, has a lower damage value than the Stalwart 5 did, right? Which maybe suggests that they're running out of strategic resources, and they had to cut back to a design that uses just iron weaponry. If so, obviously, bad news for them. Okay, it turns out I didn't have to... the whole army had enough movement to get over here. So yeah, we just gotta make sure this thing gets into siege mode so that it does not generate new militia. I'm trying really hard to select that army. Tragically, their reinforcements are just... they're a little bit late. They have shown up a little bit behind time. But they're trying. They're doing their level best. Yorunqua gets two stockpiles real quick. And at this point, I am thinking that it's probably not worth building a seed storage. Oh, Yorunqua has a center for mineralogy. You know what? I will put all the people in this city onto science. That seems fine. And in fact, that means we want... ooh, wow. You do not alchemy workshop very well, do you? Okay. Do we want to just buy that out? How much would it be? Okay. A lot. It would prevent us from buying a hero. But the alchemy workshop does have a 20% science, a percentage science boost on it on top of the 15. And so, you know, in practice, this turns out to be an awful lot of science. Yeah, I don't know. Hold on. Is there anything else that we have to do this turn? Let's do some other stuff that I am less torn on. This is the way I often deal with my indecision. It's just like, let's go find the things we know we are going to do. Oh, right, I have to kill the fungal bloom before I can search that, and I am not going to. With that army right there, I think that they will take exception to my to that maneuver. The Skyfin's probably safe right here. These guys have better things to do than to attack the Skyfin. And who else has a movement? Ah, yes, the Necrodrone. Right. Well, the Forever Eclipse allows us to search this ruin and acquire 80 dust. Alright, and then we'll get here right before they finish burning down the village and temporarily depriving us of a point of population. And then there's another army of lice here, right, because Khazar. Yeah, this area is going to need some significant cleanup. We may need some actual, like, real military units to show up. Alright, so you guys know what you're up to. I think we've done everything else, so now is the time for that decision. Were we to buy a hero, they would be in the neighborhood of 600 to 700 dust. So, not ideal. Not ideal, it turns out. Heroes with the same name always have the same capabilities. Wayrasiga will always be Food Boost 2, Industry Boost 3. So you learn over playing the game enough to look at this list and just know what's up. And as such, I'm kind of thinking we might want to hire one of these Sable Blades as a secondary combat hero. Damage boost and initiative boost is a pretty powerful combination. And forgotten heroes, forgotten units in general, have the very cool dual wield capacity that allows them to equip 2 weapons. They only get half the attributes on the left-hand weapon, but they still get all of its capacities. So you can, say, put a sword in one hand and an axe in the other hand and get both the full level of Infantry Slayer and the full level of Range Slayer, for example, which is pretty powerful. That said, if we were going to hire another combat hero, maybe they shouldn't also be infantry. Maybe it would be better to have a support combat hero, like, say, a Lore Master Jayawardine. And I'm just thinking that because Keen Observer here gives you extra reinforcement flags in battles where this is your main army. So you can have the army led by the support hero lead, and then usher in the army led by your infantry hero more effectively. Obviously, more valuable for forces that are extremely large, like ours. Are there any other support heroes up that might be better for combat? Initiative boost 2... Defense boost 2 is okay. I do like the initiative boost. How much health is this? 25 plus 10% versus... wow, 4 plus 10%. I mean, I guess the values have to be lower, right? But still, that feels very low. Then again, maybe we'd be better off hiring another governor. I don't think we want to keep the quest hero, Karis, in control of an army forever. I think that later in the faction quest he has to govern. So this would not be a third combat hero, it would be a second. I mean, there's also, of course, the question of their actual combat ability. So Lore Master Jayawardine, the support unit, is a healer, does not have much in the way of raw damage, while High Inquisitor Asala Arca is much fightier and also has this increased fire capacity. You cast a buff on a friendly unit and it gets a big attack bonus for a few rounds, which obviously can be very meaningful sometimes. I would be inclined to hire Asala Arca. But I think I am gonna go ahead and commit this, and we're gonna try to make up the money. Because gosh, science is important. Did I miss one? Oh, Juliarn. Yeah, Juliarn should definitely build things. How about that? Also, it should try to produce enough food to not lose population points. That's my feeling. My expert level play here is don't starve to death. I might go so far as to say in any situation, video game or otherwise, where you have the option of not starving to death, you should do that. That should be the thing you do. Alright, so let's make sure that we have movements for next turn queued in places where it makes sense to queue in movements. Do I have any idea what I want to do with you? No, not really. Okay. Oh, the Forever Eclipse has finally ended. Which means we are probably right on the cusp of winter here. Although, it did not really turn out to be the case last time, did it? Alright, what's up, three guys? You got a plan here? I'm gonna let them determine the pace of this. Okay, they bought back that hero and then equipped him as soon as they were able. Alright, no, enough. Just walking around my armies. Who do you think you are? Alright, Red got a hero to level 8, and so Red gets the big health regen bonus. Obviously, I would have liked that, but I'm not upset that Red got it. It's not a big problem for us. Let's see... Alright, ruins for Karis to search. Good news. It's a shame we didn't get over here last turn. These might have had actual things in them. And so we don't exactly know where this city is in this region. We can see the border through the fog a little bit, but it looks to me like it's probably safe to just attack here. Right, yeah, the edge of the battlefield runs basically right down the edge of the region. So I would prefer to lead this attack with the hero army, of course. Doesn't give us much hope. I don't know why the balance of power bar is always very much on the enemy's side, it feels like. Alright, let's resolve this one first. This should be pretty straightforward. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and auto that. That's a very easy fight. Oh, they just ran. Okay. Sure, you're allowed to do that. Fine by me. We discovered a quest. Activate 3 Titan Bone boosters in the next 3 turns. Seems unlikely. And then the Skyfin still has an action point left, so I think I'm pretty sure you have retreated. Are you allowed to function as reinforcements? Retreating costs your action point. I just don't remember if... And you guys don't have an... No, you guys do have an action point. Interesting. I don't remember if having an action point is required for you to serve as reinforcements in a battle or not. Because we could take the city this turn. You know what? I'm just gonna... Just in case. I'm not even gonna worry about it. Oh, hello. So we've discovered the location of Silali. It is a relatively new city, and it has no military units in its garrison. Look at this. Look at them putting up the extractors already before handing the city over to me. Very kind stuff. There's going to be nothing to this battle except running forward and mashing on each other, because there's not even a proliferator to optimize, so I'll just auto it. Honestly, pretty good outcome. Alright, Ehime is ours, and so... We have so many armies, and I do not know what we're going to do with them in a moment here once the war is over. So you lot, I think, are just hanging out in Uarden. We finished the market, and now must do something else. Is it time to start expanding Uarden? We could build toward the coast, and also kind of toward this Earth Tower. I mean, we're talking about a lot of districts to get that Earth Tower. But this is a really good cargo dock location. I'm gonna actually get it leveled up. I think that's reasonable. I know our approval levels are not amazing right now, and so building out districts is a little scary. We have so much industry and stuff built up here that we can food focus real hard. The alchemy workshop here is complete because, of course, it is. I bought it out. And they've actually built pretty much every other building that we know how to build. I mean, I guess start working on a seed storage. It is, of course, pretty low value. That'll get done around the time the winter ends, probably. Alright, you guys. So, I have a concern that those lice may get to act as a friendly army. If we attack from right here, they should be outside the battlefield, right? It's 3 lines of hexes. No, in fact, it is 4 lines of hexes away from the point of battle. It's you can see the highlight of where the initial troop placement zone will be. That's 3 hexes out from the line of battle. Well, that being the case, I might just be throwing my Necrodrone away. I'm not sure that these lice will get to serve as reinforcements for these lice. Because, you know, neutrals versus quest army. Let's try it. Okay, they don't, so we win trivially. Hooray! I get to keep my point of population. And now I need to fly home quickly before the other lice jump me. Let's just try to get back to a friendly place. I think we're pretty good leaving the rest of our armies where they are. You lot may as well merge up here so we're not running even more armies. And then the state that this army is in now, anybody ought to be able to just crunch them up. So I think what we'll do is I'm going to have this army attack them quickly at the beginning of next turn, and I'm not going to use everyone as reinforcements. I guess I only need to leave 1 army out with their action point up to finish the job here, so never mind, I'll do it with this army. Oh, did I? Yep, new city, just totally didn't even bother doing a build thing. Also, food. Gotta keep doing this dance because the the necrobots, the undead robots, forgot to build food structures. You know, I know you guys don't need to eat, but what about, like, the minor factions who also live in your cities? What are they gonna eat? Did you think about this? No, of course not. So Silali is a trivial take for the southern forces, and then the northern forces can just go and take Oivin, and then we're done, right? I had you guys move before separating you out. I thought I had taken their move orders off. Whatever. It doesn't matter much. Alright. So let's lock this battle in real quick. And all we have to do is leave one army out of the battle so that they still have an action point to pick this up afterward. Oh, did we complete a legendary deed? Oh, interesting. So because we were the first to defeat 3 armies led by a hero, we have acquired the Eye of the Farthinker. This can be equipped on any... Why does my mouse cursor keep moving south after I take my hand off the mouse? We can equip this on any unit, and the free counter capacity is very powerful, but 5 titanium and 5 glass steel per unit adds up really quickly, so we do want to be a little bit judicious with its application. I mean, honestly, we don't really need... Here. This is the battle. Hey, what a surprise. We were victorious. 3 cadavers. Alright. And then, who's the one with the action point left? It's you. You attack the city and claim it trivially. Hooray! And then the southern army gets to push. These ruins are far from the deserted tomb you had imagined. Frantic Saratans swarm the site, some feverishly digging, others carrying wounded kin and damaged eggs. One approaches. You learn that the Saratans had thought the ruins a safe haven, but a few days ago the earth shook, burying many of their kin in the underground galleries and tunnels beneath the ruins. Many of the trapped are Saratan females, refusing or unable to abandon their unhatched young. They ask for your help, so if we bring them a settler to improve the organization of the relief effort, it will consume our settler, but we'll get this shield, which is fine, maybe even slightly sub-fine, and a Saratan unit. This is not worth the cost of a settler, in my opinion, almost ever. So yeah, I'm not doing it, is my point. You all walk over here. Let's make sure that I actually remember to separate out 2 of the Battleborn here to get this army's... There we go. That was like 25 dust that we gained by doing that. Alright, obviously I'm not expecting much resistance here. And in fact, I'm going to have the Skyfin... Oh, the Skyfin cannot siege the city. That's a shame. I was going to say, ordinarily you don't want to put a Skyfin in a combat situation, but it has backup. But it won't even let me do that. I'm not sure why, honestly. Okay, maybe you just can't siege from the high ground to the front over a cliff, even if the army doing it is entirely a flying army. I'm just doing this to stop the natural growth of the city's defenses. Not that it's terribly important. Alright, so you vacuum that up, and let's push Oivin. You can see there are 4 units in the garrison, so they are building troops. That's not a natural garrison size. But if we all wanted to, you know, take a guess as to whether or not whatever they're building in there is going to be able to repel this army, my guess is no. Hot take. I think there are no 4 units in the game that are going to stand up to this situation. Alright, alchemy workshops for everyone. And then we have a question. Do we want to save this food stockpile? Probably not, right? It's probably not worth holding onto a food stockpile for an entire summer-winter cycle just to get 1 more Battleborn. Certainly not at this point. So where is it best utilized becomes the question. And the answer is, I have no idea. I do not know what the thing is to do with that. It would probably be... Okay. Probably somewhere on the North Shore. right? Somewhere near potential opponents. Just to make sure that we have as much population growing in those places as we can, so that they're ready to respond to violence. I'm going to do it here. This place has difficulty growing otherwise. God, our little continent is, like, half volcanic. It's very unusual. Alright, now that we have this, now I think we go grab cargo docks. So let's see, the capital's going to finish that in 3 turns at this rate. Do we have... There are no high-tier strategics here. After we get cargo docks, I'm definitely going to queue up the luxury thing, because we are going to actually want to get that done. And then, actually, we know Khazar's about to leave here, and I do want to grab this region and start working on the Titan Bones. So, like, let's actually have a look here. Where do we want to settle? We know that there's a cluster of anomalies over here. There's, like, on my Cordia, it's not showing me the tile values when I mouse over, because the region is owned by Khazar, I imagine. So, like, this isn't bad, right? Right here, and then build to the ocean. It does not give us a lot of food to start with, of course, as ever, but we have solutions for that problem. And yeah, I like building close to the coast, to potentially give us access to a dock and, of course, the ability to launch ships and stuff. So is that what we want to be doing in Lenfell, working on the settler? Yeah, I think that's okay. In Uarden, we do have a strategic extractor to get going. It's going to take a remarkable amount of time. I may transfer us back to industry for a second here. Let's maybe get that done. Jathat does not have any high-tier strategics to worry about, and so we'll just alchemy workshop. I'm not in a huge hurry to get it done. How are we doing on... Okay, it looks like we have only a single point of unhappiness left from ownership problems. So this city has basically come around. It is not going to adjust even back to a medium level of happiness from just factors that we have. We need to pick up some solutions to this problem, which means it may well be worth it for us to go get the marketplace tech that lets you buy luxury resources and stuff. Because we're going to, with an empire this size, we're going to have serious happiness issues, and we already have all of our happiness buildings up and everything. We may have to buy luxuries just to stay functional. There's a danger of a war strategy in this game. Alright. That is, I think, going to be sufficient for the moment. Let me cue these in here just to make sure that Skyfin's not over here playing offense by itself for any longer than it absolutely has to be. Here, we'll try to have these two armies head sort of northward and loop around. Alright. So a big benefit of winning a war against an AI on a difficulty like this is that the AI probably has pretty developed stuff. So we're seeing, like, of course, the strategic resources and everything already, or their extractors already in place. And on top of that, why are they putting units out? Do they think they're going to challenge us? I found 80 dust. Hooray! Alright, somebody else killed Skoros. The Skoros that is in that place where we don't even know where it is. Alright, let's just step up into siege mode. If you click on the hex that a unit is in to select it, it just selects it. If you click on the flag, it selects it and centers the camera. And I always forget that, even though it's a thing that obviously I have dealt with for, at this point, hundreds and hundreds of hours. So every time it does that, I am surprised by the camera jump. I'm always like, ah! Alright, so what are we doing here? They have built up a situation where they almost have a level up. Right, a district in this position or this position would get us a level up on one of our existing districts. So that seems like a pretty solid move. We still had movement left. Oh, right, yeah. There's a quest army trapped over there. Do I want to just go for this? Oh, actually, you're not even in a position where you can go for this. Right, cliff. Well, we'll get it next turn. And here, I think, yeah, same deal. We can let the fortification actually burn down, because I don't want to fight their actual army with all that bonus health. There's absolutely no reason we would have to. Presumably, they will get aggressive on us, presently, as a result of the very low fortification values. In fact, which army is it that has the proliferator? Why don't you come over here and have at these guys. Alright, we'll deal with that in a second. Yep, that didn't happen. It's showing up as a check mark, but it shouldn't be, because that is a quest that we failed. Alright, Karis is getting the first level of no idle hands, which means we are... And maybe I just want to take fast healer, because we're pretty behind pace on our faction quest here. Yeah, level 1 fast healer, level 2 no idle hands. I'm going to take the fast healer, even though it is, like, for certain worse. Just to get the quest moving. Alright, with Karis assigned to an army, search the unspoiled ruins in Hellcrast. Alright, well, we were going to be heading back that way anyway, eventually. So, we can move you off of here, move you down to there, so you get to search the ruins. Hooray! Nope, never mind. Stop doing this, start doing that. I mean, I'm not going to siege this. We're just gonna feast. What am I talking about? Not even a hero. Do not include the Skyfin. Skyfin gets no combat XP. It hasn't earned it. Alright, so Red's got some villages converted over here, which suggests that this may be their landmass. And also, we have a dye deposit. Interesting. Obviously, it would be very hard to get enough dye to run boosters, but we know that our Urkin has some bonuses that we really want that can be unlocked with dye, so that's cool. We need to pick up that tier 1 extractor tech. It was not... oh, no, wait, no, we totally have it, because I had to get it to be able to get gold. So yeah, we'll build those extractors. Alright, so this is all notifications we've dealt with already, just lots of minor factions that we're meeting or have assimilated now. Go ahead and build roads. Alright, nothing we do is going to get those done quickly. Yeah, just focus on food. Oh hey, it's this dude. Huh, it actually does seem to have given us credit for this, because it totally spawned the Guardian. Some of these new quests seem like they're a little buggy. Alright, well this is something to do with our vast armies, once we've completed the other thing that we're doing with our vast armies. Okay, so you should probably be at the top of the reinforcement order. Let's do it. I think there's a pretty good chance that the rest of the army will not show up as reinforcements, because I wouldn't. Nope, they have chosen to bring their forces out of the city. Who needs fortification? They say. Very brave in my opinion. Please shoot at that guy. Nah, I guess just stand wherever you gotta stand. We really don't need all of these units to be running toward... Yeah, we have a lot of people who seem to think this is their job. I guess... No, this is fine. Yep, I do think that that's the right move for the rider. I am disappointed by the amount of damage it did there. I wasn't thinking enough about the about my positioning. I just clicked through deployment without actually looking at it, or I would have filled that gap. We're definitely going to lose this proliferator. Not that it matters much, because obviously this is the final battle of the war. Alright, a little bit of chain lightning, so they just have basic... Yeah, a lot of real basic stuff here. Stalwart 7. The AI is changing up their movement designs every single turn, which is a thing that you see happen sometimes in late-game wars, where they're like constantly adjusting based on the levels of their strategic resources. Baron Jocelyn Duval is not necessarily a high-value target, I don't think. You should focus on this one. Duval has too much defense to be an early focus. Plus, you know, as always, we want to make sure we're getting the virus out on as many targets as possible. Alright, excellent work. And hey, look at that. We have a proliferator again. There's nothing you can do to stop me from proliferating. Get over here on the other side of the battlefield, away from Duval. Right, we're having a hell of a time getting through the defenses of that demon. We managed to lure them out of the town spaces, but even so, just the morale. But you can see as their line collapses and our line reinforces, our morale naturally shifts upward and theirs naturally shifts downward. It's a really cool system. It's very evocative of the thing that it is supposed to represent. I love the combat system in Endless Legends so much. It is, by a huge margin, my favorite combat system in any 4X game. There's so much decision making, both on the strategic and the tactical level, that actually has like meaningful outcomes and stuff. All right, so I did use all of our armies, so we don't have any action points left. But you know, why take the chance, right? And it's not like taking the city now versus taking the city next turn is actually any different. All right, so you don't really need to be down here anymore. I guess just run. Can we build that dye extractor? That is not where the extractor is. There we go. And then, like, yeah, rebuild villages. That's important. That's high-value stuff. Probably also, don't starve to death. Well, okay. Apparently, that's going to take everything we have. Man, again, there are so many cities here where we have a water tile that pokes all the way in like this. We do need to remove the fungus stuff too, but I guess it's not immediately critically important. So hold on a second. For this quest... Okay, it doesn't seem to matter too much. Like, there's no indication that it's going to result in immediate battle or anything. I'm just going to bounce Karis over to here. And we're gonna run down and search the ruin this way. And hopefully not get jumped by Urk and Lice. I didn't really... Here, we'll make that move at the beginning of the turn. It'll be fine. And so... we turn our impressive military to the task of defeating this Fire Guardian that's just rampaging around my territory like it owns the place. Most of you can move south. We only need one army to stay put to actually execute the thing. And it can be this one. Although I guess I have to leave this army in place to actually hold down the siege. You know what? You guys can hold down the siege, and both of these armies can head back. I was going to have it be the most injured army and then just throw them in the garrison immediately. So I think a lot of these armies are going to become just garrison warmers for the moment while we figure out the next phase of our plan, because they can at least be providing for our governors a whole lot of extra experience that way, right? So we should probably hire a hero now. And am I right about wanting a combat hero? Or do we just want more governors? You know, it probably is more governors right now. We have a lot of cities to sort of figure out, and we don't know for sure when or where our next war will be. And we're in a position here where we're generating enough dust that this is not going to be like our last governor. We will get to our last hero. We will get to hire more. I am just going to bring on Owe Rasigo and, yeah, just assign him to some city somewhere. Maybe it would have been better to put in a position with a coast, or with a forest for this, but I'm thinking about helping build things up on the coast, because like if we do end up at war with Pink, which seems like it might not be impossible, they were annoyed enough to threaten us, then, you know, we want to make sure that the north coast of the Empire, particularly the two actual coastal cities, are ready to go. What did we just finish researching? Okay, cargo dock. So we can start the cargo dock building now, actually. Let's just go ahead and lay those out. So I want to put it here. I like getting to level up my cargo dock. I think that's very good. Very good and powerful. We can go ahead and plan it. Oh, actually, a cargo dock in this position does not get leveled because of the ruin. We will never be able to build around it. So that's, I guess, a little bit less critical. Yeah, let's get those two going, though, and then we'll figure out the rest of it later. Alright, let us run one more turn here, because I do actually want to finish purple off. Ah, here it comes. Okay, the beginning of the difficult season. This is a good time for it. Like, as the war is ending, I'd much rather have things work out this way. Is this a truce from purple? They don't even offer us anything. This war's bleeding everyone dry. Oh yes, but we're all having such a difficult time. I mean, they had to try, right? Sorry, what's happening? Oh, Photios is threatening one of my cities. Okay. Pink has closed their borders to us because, yeah, they have feelings. Before the end of the winter, have 3 luxury boosts active in order to gain some influence. You know, honestly, we do need influence. So we are in position to potentially attack. It is Photios, right? Yeah, okay. We are in position to potentially attack here if we wanted to be. If we wanted to just go for it. God, there are so many neutral armies running around here. So many apparently neutral armies. Oh, Photios went for us. Interesting. And I'm not allowed to retreat for some reason? Besieged armies cannot retreat. I'm not besieged. I mean, like, the city's besieged. This army's not besieged. Okay, well, I was gonna consider a retreat there. I was probably going to retreat there. So, we have 2 paths to winter immunity. Obviously, we could go up to the top here, Iron Constitution, which is a skill that only affects an army that he is the commander of. As you can see, it says hero skill, parentheses, army. It just gives bonus health regen. And that takes us only 2 points to get to Cold Operator, or we could go through Defender and Inspirational Leader, take 3 points to get to Winter Immunity, but actually, like, get value out of those points, whereas this does literally nothing for us. And I think I'm inclined to take it slow. If we were, like, 15 turns off of Winter, I might consider going the other path just to try to get Cold Operator in place before the next winter, but since we're not going to get this either way until after the current winter is over, I don't think it's a big deal, a big concern. Alright, Veltaire finished the winter thing right as winter started, because of course it did. We're great at this. Also, a central market is probably good, and in fact, probably reverse those. Should we rush that market? It doesn't actually even change the number of turns. Okay. That's weird, but fine. Warden also finishing stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna just reach out to the north, and I think what I'm going to do here, I'm gonna take the somewhat unorthodox step of just building until we can put up the cargo dock. We'll just build a straight line over to the cargo dock, and then we'll come back and fill in and get the level ups afterward. Because the cargo dock itself is of value for sure. So, no upkeep from heroes that are infiltrating, minus 25% dust from hero upkeep in armies. So the heroes that are leading armies, we are paying less for. I mean, do we want to just have at him? Sorry, I don't have a choice. We have to just have at him, right? Well, honestly, I don't know that there's a lot of value in manualing this, but we can try to just optimize for morale at the very least. I don't think we should be forced into this battle. I think that it's real goofy that we are considered to be a besieged army in this situation. Yeah, there's not really a lot of not a lot of science to apply here, right? Everybody run forward for the first turn. So, great big fire whip. He's like a Balrog. Get him, Necrodrone. Of course, as a guardian, he has some wild traits. When he attacks something, should it survive the massive amount of damage, it does catch fire and burn forever. He takes no damage from lava, as you might imagine. Immunity against debuffs, diseases, negative winter effects. All debuff immunity is pretty serious. But still a ranged unit. It is a ranged unit, and as such, suffers morale penalties from having things adjacent to it. So, we gotta fill in the space. I should definitely have had the Necrodrone fly over here. Alright, let's remember to have you do that this time. And we will continue to march in around. And yep, we're just going to bleed units here. Oh, I should also have had the Proliferator stand back, because there's no... The Proliferator attacking provides no actual combat benefit. It hits for so little damage. And I'm sure he's going to kill it. But run, in case you survive. Okay, went for something else. Now, the thing that I have never understood is what it is that makes your units just move arbitrarily when they don't have the ability to complete their orders. Like, there's no version of this where this unit should have run to that position in the first place. Please stay safe. Alright, that wasn't too costly. It still plays out the remaining turn of every other unit for the purpose of, you know, if something was on fire or diseased or whatever, letting that tick through the round. And lo! A cheer goes up. The danger has been averted. Peace restored. All those who live in wooden dwellings are particularly appreciative. That's alright, all of our dwellings are made of biomass. Also, a guardian rises. Hooray! This is my guardian now. Welcome, level 2, Photios. So, Photios has this ability where he can just see 10 tiles in every direction. I'm gonna have Photios walk over to the coast and then do that thing. We're gonna get some vision across the channel. In case we needed more army. Also, now that a player has a Guardian, of course, everyone gets the quest for the Guardian Slayer. 30 spices. Ah, the ruin to search for it is distant, though. I honestly might be willing to do it, even though it involves the sacrifice of a unit. If it wasn't so far away, because 30 spices is really something. So here's Kezar. Kezar now wants 50 pixie blood. Not trivial, but we might be able to get him through military strife, the same way we get everything. And I think I may actually just have the Skyfin sit here and burn this. I mean, okay, no, I guess one thing the Skyfin's actually very good for is pearls. We should have the Skyfin fly around and grab pearls. You might notice the Skyfin has 9 movement right now. In their dark form, Alayi units actually gain movement speed. So, really, really good at pearl hunting. Alright, you should probably actually capture this city. And lo, the Empire of Theros has been defeated. It lives on only in tales. And the necrophages are not really very gifted storytellers, I have to imagine. Let's try to get this adamantine extractor up. And probably, you know, try not to starve to death at the same time. That seems pretty okay. Gosh, we're just gonna have to buy some buildings out. Some of these cities are just not very powerful. Alright, so yeah, we got that quest. We got these notifications all dealt with already. So yeah, Khazar maybe is getting armied. Let's move in that general direction. And then it may well be the case that we don't have to fight anymore. With an empire of this size, we may be able to just build or science our way to victory. But the thing is, I'm not saying that the northern continent is definitely made entirely of nails, but I have all these hammers, you know? So that's going to be it for us for today, and thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time on Monday, gosh, I don't know. We're just going to have to figure out what to do with all these hammers. And we'll see you then.